Yo, welcome to my Bedrock Super Flat. So I know it looks like we don't have much in this world, but I do have one thing, and that's absolutely nothing. Yeah, we're screwed. But over the next 100 days, we're gonna change that. I have found the weirdest combination of Minecraft mechanics we can use to gather wood, stone, and a beacon. But first, we need to get something. Honestly, anything. So my first thought was to wait for night for monsters to spawn, but as the sun set, I was lonelier than ever. Please, I'll even take a phantom. See, monsters can't spawn naturally on Bedrock in this version. Minecraft Beta 1.9 pre-release 3. By the way, my render distance being this low is totally not because Superflat hadn't been added yet. What? Are you crazy? But there's one thing in this version. And that's today's sponsor, Opera GX. Okay, so this version is actually really important, but you have a big problem. See, your browser is just like a Bedrock Superflat. Okay, it works, but this will get boring like 5 years ago. One time I spent an hour trying to customize Google Chrome, make it look unique. It's blue. But with Opera GX, you can download mods to fully customize your browser. I made it blue. You see a pattern? But on top of that, you can go to the GX store to download free mod packs that play custom background music, keyboard sounds, animated wallpapers, even custom tab opening and closing sounds. But it has a huge problem. It's no longer blue. But they've got that covered because I can turn off individual modifications to make it my unique browser. My own quick browser. Because remember when I opened dozens of tabs for a visual gag? Well, Opera didn't slow down at all. If you have Opera in the background while grinding a Minecraft project, you can limit the amount of RAM and CPU it uses so it won't hog it all from your game, something your browser is doing right now. But moving all your data to a new browser sounds like a pain because I'm a chronically lazy guy. I got distracted playing Connect 4 during this ad read. But these Opera developers are smart, and in 1, 2, 3 clicks, you have all your data as before. If this interests you and you want to support me, you can use my link below to download Opera GX today. I'd like to thank them for sponsoring, and thank you for watching, because we are about to get something. See, monsters were finally able to spawn on Bedrock. So once I saw a creeper, I used it to kill myself. Stay with me, because this version was right before Mojang added the end dimension. They had accidentally forgotten to remove these 4 items from our inventory. Items other than the infinite amount of bedrock. We got enchanting tables, bookshelves, and Okay, so these are earlier concepts for the end portal and end portal frame, which means I have end portals in my inventory. With all that power, I could build a minion. I also made an enchantment setup and another portal just in case, but because the end hadn't been added yet, the world was updated to 1.6.4, then 1.20.1, the most recent version. Still, there was nothing to do in this Bedrock abyss, so I escaped to it by going to the end. Another abyss. Now to get off the obsidian platform, I broke the end stone with my hand and built a staircase out of end portal frame. What's this, a minute in and it's already cursed? But it's gonna get worse because I then had to kill the ender dragon with practically nothing, and this is why this isn't hardcore. I built a tree out of enchanting tables so I could safely kill endermen. I pro'd up to 1 crystal, then bridged with nearly all my enchanting tables to the next, then died again. Day 3, I started using the dragon to help kill the enderman. Every pearl I got was another chance at taking down another crystal. But there was one pillar that was so high, just a single pearl couldn't reach it. So I had to gather a couple pearls, then make 2 precise shots, one to a shorter pillar, then to the top of the next pillar. And yes, it is day 5. It really took that long. Then it was just a matter of brutally beating the dragon to death. Normally when I get the dragon egg, I throw it into the void, but because I'm in poverty, I am poverty, I kept it and gave the minion a little egg hat. Now to explore the end islands with absolutely nothing. My goal was to get loot from end cities, but I was specifically looking for a pickaxe. But we can get an easy food source, chorus fruit. It's not that good, but being able to teleport every time you eat it will help us traverse the end cities. Except I ate it too close to the edge, got teleported down, didn't learn from my mistakes, and had to cut the trip short. But day 7, after getting more pearls, and even more pearls, I wandered into an end city. This is when I really didn't like chorus fruit. I climbed up, broke in through the outside to loot chests so I couldn't get shot, and collected end rods so I could bridge over to that ship. Because my health was getting too low, I had to eat, which always sent me down. Except day 8, I found a loophole. After taking some hits on purpose to levitate higher, I got so high above the ground that when I ate, it didn't teleport me down. It was good that I had that extra health because I made it to the end ship with 1 heart. There were health potions in the brewing stand, which I don't know why these are here, but I could regenerate without teleporting. But now we can fly to loot even more end cities as I'm still looking for that pickaxe. Oh, and I did find one, but why did I not bring it up? Well, maybe that's because I got too confident with it, and, well, at least I can go through the minion again. Day 10, I didn't get my items, but I did find an ender dragon head just on the floor. We're gonna skip to day 12 because that day I got a sword, a pickaxe, and an elytra, but I learned my lesson and used the elytra to go straight home after looting a few more chests. So now that I was finally alive at home with a pickaxe, I mined up some endstone that I could on day 13 place down in the overworld. But I ran out immediately, so I spent the whole day mining more around the end portal. It was placed down just like a platform because this is going to be where we get wandering traders to spawn. Just like monsters, they can't spawn on Bedrock, so the bigger the endstone platform is, the higher chance we get a wandering trader to spawn. I put railings around it, and then guess what spawned 5 minutes later? Monsters. A lot of monsters. Day 16, I mined an entire obsidian pillar. There are 2 blocks in this dimension, and I've already gathered copious amounts of each. The obsidian isn't for the platform, but to get to the nether. In this challenge, there are actually multiple ways to, but this method was relying on dumb luck. I could build a portal, but there was no way to light it unless there was a lucky lightning strike. I'm gonna go kill some spiders while we wait. So I kept expanding the wandering trader platform because the lightning strike, it's a pipe dream. I think our best bet is to get a wandering trader to sell us moss that we can then use to get wood. But nothing is free, so I looted more end cities for emeralds. But I didn't realize how difficult that would be. I got 6 diamonds, no emeralds. But day 19, I passed an end city that had the markings of me all over it. So I was just there to check and make sure I had looted everything, but I stumbled upon a dead body. My dead body. Is it unethical to loot my own dead body? Just in case, when I got home, I built a grave for myself. Day 20, I built a small tower in the middle of the platform. The ladders were stolen from an end ship, and it's just meant to keep me safe while I wait for a wandering trader to spawn. But I also kept on expanding the platform. It was a balancing act in my mind, because the more endstone I mined, the higher chance of a wandering trader would spawn, because they'd have more surface area. But the more time spent in the end mining, the less time a wandering trader could actually spawn. But day 21, that could all change as I heard a thunderbolt in the distance. And that was the only one. But that gave me an idea. See, right now I'm just hoping that lightning strikes and spreads to the exact spot I need. But I've been getting a lot of string from killing spiders, so I thought, what if we tried to keep the fire alive by setting wool on fire, then leading it to a portal? But still, I'd have to sit around for a thunderstorm. See, I realized a lot of these challenges are just waiting. Imagine a speedrun of this. But while waiting, I built a giant WT sign pointing to the platform, just in case the wandering traders forgot where to spawn. That must have done something right though, because when I ran back, I saw a wandering trader. And it sold absolutely nothing useful. Time to go to the endless void. Day 25. I killed spiders. 54 string in a night. Day 26. I used the end rods to make a jail for the llama. Hey, at least it's decorated with iron. Not like I had any other use for it though. And I was getting tired of waiting for wandering traders, so here I just started to sit for 10 minutes at a time waiting. Now, this was crazy luck, as 3 days after the first wandering trader, I got another. This one sold jungle saplings, but if I bought one, there isn't anywhere to plant it. So they went to the even endlesser void. What the frick did I just build? Because a wandering trader just spawned, it might take a while for another. So I sat there on the pillar, on the floor like a caterpillar. I sat here, I sat there, I sat waiting for a wandering trader to spawn anywhere. Nothing interesting happened, so I took out my rage on the trader llama. As you can see, I built a tower to the right of me, but I cannot find the footage for the life of me, so tower. The WT now stands for watchtower. But that evening it started to rain, so I grabbed the wool and towered up so I could fly down to the fire. But while up there, I saw a wandering trader spawn. This is pretty lucky. Until, well, there weren't any more lightning strikes, and the wandering trader sold garbage, like actual garbage. Beetroot seeds are like the only item I already had. Day 39, I sat there, but smaller this time. But then it rained again, and another wandering trader spawned. And this one sold rooted dirt. During my research, I didn't think saplings were useful because I have no dirt. But because I hadn't done anything with wandering traders since the new update, I didn't remember they sold rooted dirt. Because first of all, what the frick is rooted dirt? And last time I did wandering trader stuff, it's not like I needed rooted dirt. So I bought 2 and headed back to the end to get more emeralds for sapling. That was the most action I had this past 10 days. Time to wait for some more. But day 43, I heard it. The most obnoxious noise in the game was music to my ears. But you can see I already bought the sapling and some more dirt. Yeah, there was another type of dirt I totally forgot about. But I forgot to record buying it because I didn't feel like filling my computer with this for 5 hours. But my biggest concern was running out of saplings and having to go back to the waiting grind. So when I grew a tree, I'd chop it down, then use my diamond pickaxe to destroy all the leaves because it had fortune. Maybe I was lucky, maybe it was common, but I got enough saplings to grow a giant jungle tree. I grew it in this perimeter I had built a few days ago that was specifically for when I got trees. But I didn't talk about it because it was more pathetic than anything. It was like owning a fish tank with no fish. But day 45, I made a weird discovery. When coarse plants grow, they actually make a noise. You can hear that, right? It's not the hundreds of chorus fruit getting to my brain. That's an actual sound. Please tell me you hear that, right? With all this new wood, there was so much more to do. First, I crafted a diamond block and put it at the top of a spire. Priorities. But then I did something actually important. Put the end armor trims on my armor. Yes, diamond on diamond. This is 2 videos in a row I've done it. Then I ended the day off by sleeping for the first time ever in this challenge. It's nice not having insomnia. So I got to work on a small hut for my chest and workstation. But I hadn't been collecting purple blocks, so I broke down an end city. But guess what was also there? Purple stained glass! I finished the hut with a grass roof, then day 47 it rained, so I put 3 cauldrons on top of the roof. This is how we're going to collect water, and the more cauldrons, the higher the chance they fill up with rainwater. I could only afford 3 though. I wonder where the rest of my iron went. After the rainstorm, I collected 1 of the 3 layers of water, so I looted more end cities for iron and also collected shulker shells. Day 49, I used chiseled bookshelves for the first time with the books from day 1. I made a YJ, you know what that stands for? Yogurt jugglers.
Wow, Jaron, that joke was so bad, you're gonna get replaced by AI.
Well, guess what? That joke was made by AI. Frick you. Also, I did not ask for these emojis. The 4 horsemen of making no sense. Day 50, it rained again, and I was hoping to get 2 layers of water, but how about nothing? It might be a bit, so I needed to keep myself busy. But day 51, after seeing a big green blob on the platform, these guys could be a good source of experience. I spent most of the day looking for a chunk that slimes spawn in, but it was hard because they spawned far away. Then by the time I got over there, they bounced around and I couldn't determine which chunk they came from. So in the evening, I just picked a chunk and built a platform hoping they would spawn. Day 52, that's a slime chunk. So I expanded it, put up a railing, and realized my knockback on the sword isn't doing me any favors. So I put in a killing chamber, but that was specifically to catch slimes from the 2nd floor. Then by the time I had come back with ladders, it was already full of slime. But there was no time to farm as there was a thunderstorm. I flew down and caught a lot of the wool on fire, but by the time I had built the portal, the fire always went out. So my next try, I made sure the fire was covered from the rain, but it basically killed itself in 5 seconds. There were a few more strikes, but it was never meant to be. At least the slimes will keep me company, but still, no new water to collect. I just needed 2 more water bottles and then I could get myself into the nether. Day 54, I chopped a bunch of trees down, but I realized just chopping wood in the perimeter had no purpose as it just made a mess dealing with the leaves above. I'd moved the dirt around so the tree wouldn't be under old leaves, but the perimeter was so small that was totally ineffective. It was like keeping a whale shark in a fish tank, but I was determined and stubborn enough to not release the whale shark, but to improve its small cage. So I built a ladder and then a ring on top of that I used to get above the trees. Chopping from the top is faster than the staircase method, but this perimeter's days are numbered. Day 56, it finally happened. I got water. 3 bottles is enough to fill a cauldron that can then be picked up with a bucket. So I made an infinite source and then headed to the end. See, the only reason we needed water was to get copper. So I brought some zombies in with me and used a zombie killing system that I invented on the Just Dirt world. The whole idea is that this is a poor man's ENXO4 copper farm. His farm design is like way more efficient, but I only needed 3 copper. So I was just stealing the zombie reinforcement mechanic. That's when you hurt a zombie enough that more will spawn. This works in the end, so I theoretically should get an infinite flow of zombies. After gathering a few, I drowned them in a separate pool and then killed them all for a small chance to get copper. With looting 3 on an iron sword, I got all 3 copper in a day. So I crafted a lightning rod and put it right next to a nether portal. This guarantees that the next thunderstorm will give us a nether portal. Then in the evening, I set up another zombie killing chamber to get experience when I realized, wait a minute, I have water, I have wood, let's just make a mob farm. I didn't build it as tall so like the monsters weren't taking tons of damage, but once it's done, I can show you why. Not even halfway through, I ran out of endstone. It would have been cool to have the entire thing look like it was made out of cheese, but I cheaped out and used jungle planks, so it's the molded cheese farm. Raise your hand if you'd eat this. But this is why the monster farm is so low down. Look how fast this is. Because the lower you are in a Minecraft world, the faster monsters will spawn. That's why up in the sky, monster farms are so slow. But guys, this farm didn't even have the trap doors yet, which would make monsters fall into the killing chamber even faster. Look how efficient this is. Day 62, it started to rain and I begged for a lightning strike. It had been 20 hours in this barren Bedrock Bay and I just wanted to get out of here. Then guess what happened? Day 63, still in the overworld. I toured my friends around, showing them the platform, slime farm, jail, the endless nether portals, the grave of my sanity, you know, stuff we all have. But day 65, I sure hope you don't have what I built. I was up in the sky away from my base building another monster farm. At the bottom was a trampoline, so the monsters just bounce around. This serves no purpose unless you count looking stupid. Day 67, I made a platform in the sky where it could kill phantoms. If they dropped a membrane, I could repair my elytra just in case they break. And they'll break a whole lot soon because day 71, nothing. Nothing happened. It rained, and I cursed the heavens, and then lightning struck. Oh, lightning struck? Good grief, I wasn't even looking. So now that I had gotten to the nether, I could start my next goal of getting villagers. Right now, I could make potions of weakness, and I had the gold for golden apples. All that was missing was, like, the actual apples themselves. The first structure I found was a nether fortress. It was a little tricky exploring it, especially with the food that teleports you out of it, but there also wasn't much reason to be here. Normally, you get blaze rods to beat the game, but me flying out of it with an elytra might persuade you of something. Well, it was getting low on durability, but I didn't realize that when I flew over this lava pool. Like 2 durability left, and I would have been dead. Lesson learned. Day 76, I'd found a bastion. This is what we needed because without a way to get apples, the only way to cure a zombie villager is to find a golden apple in a loot chest. I did throw it on peaceful mode to make it easier though. Some people consider it cheating. Technically, a speedrun would get taken down if you did that. But ever since playing beta Minecraft and how the community swaps difficulties whenever they feel like it, I've kind of adopted that. And golden apple acquired. Day 80, I first smelted the ancient debris I'd found in the bastions and got myself a pair of netherite boots because that piece really had most all the enchantments. I did have to steal my diamond block though. Now all I had to do for villagers was to get a zombie villager and a witch because I totally forgot that I would also need sugar for the weakness potion. Sugar I don't have. I could kill a witch for it, but at that point I might as well just have the witch throw the potion themselves. But the monster farm isn't a good way to get a witch because of how many other monsters there are. Oh my goodness, the trampoline park has a use. So it looks really funny, but honestly, it might have been too much work because now these monsters don't die, they bounce around, then try to blow me up. So I tried to shoot them mid-air, but you really think I can hit a moving target? So I went to the platform, but a zombie villager suffocated on me, and then I blew up the slime farm. You might think that's terrible luck, but I deserved it. I had a witch already in a boat, but to get rid of the zombie in it, I thought, oh, I'll just shoot it. So then I break the boat. Day 82, I still had that witch, but I couldn't put up with the shenanigans for a zombie villager because I had an even stupider idea. Now, because the low-down monster farm produces so many monsters, I made a conveyor belt. They slowly float down. I can see if any of the zombies are zombie villagers, and then the others can go into the incinerator. This is so stupid, but it's what I love about these challenges. It's like, let's see what dumb thing Jaron comes up with today, then trick his viewers into thinking he's smart. But by the evening, I did get a zombie villager and started the curing process. I got the achievement notifying me the villager was cured, and I then realized I have to get 2 of these. Now, thankfully, I remembered that I didn't have to get another golden apple. The problem with these challenges is that I find solutions to the problems, but then I don't take good notes on them. So I think it, but then I unthink it, and then I gotta think it again, and at that point, that's just way too much thinking. But luckily, I remembered, oh yeah, I was planning on buying apples from a farmer villager, but I couldn't easily get enough emeralds to level it up, so I had to sell produce. But the only produce I had, found in the end cities, was beetroot. So, for the first time ever, beetroot has a use. What is going on? But I learned something that made me think even worse of beetroot. Most crops take 2 bone meal to fully grow. This one took 6. There is no need for this crop to suck so much. But day 89, I got really paranoid that Enderman might steal my precious 4 dirt, so I built a farmhouse specifically to keep them out. Oh yeah, and that's cobblestone. I made a cobblestone generator, but oddly enough, it didn't change much about this world. Day 90, I had sold enough beetroot and bought enough bread that I leveled up the farmer villager. But it wasn't selling apples. I did not plan for that. So I spent all of day 91 looking for a golden apple in the bastions and ended up finding 2. I also found a netherite template and chose to throw it on my pickaxe. That'll be helpful later, but now, conveyor belt time! I waited all day watching the conveyor belt, but I actually got the zombie villager from the top of the monster farm. I'm quite happy about that. Just getting the witch out of there blew up the belt. And that was even unnecessary as I killed one of the witches that escaped and they dropped sugar, so I just ended up brewing a weakness potion. Now for something not important, and honestly, maybe not even that interesting, but if you combine a crossbow that's loaded with a multi-shot crossbow, then shoot the arrow from the combined form, the arrow doesn't have the multi-shot property, so it shoots just 1 arrow. Now, how is that helpful? More uses than beetroot. I did some cleaning up while waiting for the second villager to cure. I have barely anything, yet I can still somehow make a mess. Then I needed a place to store my villagers, but I really didn't want to build a house, so Oreo. Right now, to make progress, I needed a good way to get emeralds. Not a great way, because that's way too much to ask for from this challenge. Beetroots were not going to cut it. I got flint for a fletching table from gravel in the nether and started selling them copious amounts of sticks. What they needed them for? I do not know. Do they even need them? I do not care. Then I made a bigger infinite pool of water just as a backup so I'd never lose it, but thought it would be cool if it was also really high up. And guess who was right? Day 96, I got a cleric villager specifically so I could buy lapis for enchanting, and I finally got a decent chest plate. Then, even though some of my items already had mending, I got a villager to sell it to me just to make sure nothing breaks. It wouldn't be the end of the world if my axe broke, but it would still cost diamonds, and I need to save those for the netherite armor. Then I went to bed, stopped my recording, and woke up to uh-oh. Who needs a bedroom anyways? Who needs one when you're rich? Time is running out, but I believed I could get a full set of netherite armor before then. I already had netherite boots, I just needed 3 more ingots. Even after a year or 2 of this update, I still enjoyed the netherite hunt. And day 100, I had gotten a full set of netherite armor in a world made of only bedrock and 2 other dimensions. Then to top it all off, I went to the fortress, grinded for some wither skulls, then fought the wither. Honestly, nothing too crazy, as the fight was easier as it had nothing to blow up. The video was already in overtime, so I put together an iron farm and just sold sticks until we had enough blocks for the base. I bought glass from a librarian, crafted the beacon, and concluded this 100 days playthrough. Well, 112. But look at what we've done. From just 1 layer of bedrock, we've been able to build so much and explore so much of like Minecraft's mechanics. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I just want to say thank you for watching.